With the world in lockdown, there's never been a better time for there to be new anime to watch. It's great news then, because the new anime season is starting this week, where the first episodes of the first few series already aired, and the rest coming over the next few weeks. As ever, I'm going to do my best to let you know whether or not they're good, whether or not they're trash, and whether or not you should give a damn about them. And if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments, because, as ever, this is the 2020 Spring Anime Preview, from a different perspective. Any new anime about girls playing baseball will always have the same problem. It's always going to get compared to a great Princess 9. Because let's be honest, Princess 9 was there and did it before the more recent examples of baseball girl anime. There may have been some good examples, Taisho Baseball Girls springs to mind, but again there's been some truly mediocre efforts. And the same is true for a lot of girls playing sports in anime. They all fall into the same category. Girls coming together, trying to build a team for whatever reason, and facing the problems girls have in doing so, be it against other girls' teams or trying to become a girls' team amongst boys. It's been there, done that before, and Princess 9 probably did it a hell of a lot better. And so the latest anime to take a go at this is Tamiyomi, for baseball girls. And right off the bat, no pun intended, it throws into a game of baseball, with our main characters seemingly pitching and catching. There's lots of jokes here to be told, I'm not going to tell them, don't worry. I'll let you pitch your own ideas in the comments. And there's often the case in anime based around baseball girls, or baseball in general. The main character is the ace pitcher. This time we got Yomi Takeda, who is a rather boisterous girl, who is very good at throwing the ball. He also got a childhood friend, Tamaki, who she played catch with us as a kid, but made a promise when we were kids to play baseball together someday. They went apart, and Yomi, while she still loves the game, has kind of fell out of love with playing it, because of problems she had at her previous school. Well, the good news is, this school, there's no current baseball team. Yeah, this is going to be one of those shows, I think. However, the baseball team is on hiatus. It is not fully cancelled, so they could come back. It's not as if I've got to go through the rigmarole of catching loads of different team members to play, but I might go that route, we don't know yet. We're also introduced to a pair of twins, the very friendly and hands-on Yoshino, and with much more calm and laid back, but always dragged along at Yoshino's pace, Ibuki. And they're very different in personality. Whenever you have twins in anime, you always get the choice of, okay, are they identical, and if so, do they say the lines at the same time, or are they different enough to be actual different characters? And it looks like Yoshino and Ibuki are different enough to be different characters. They do different things, they're just sisters who happen to be twins. And the first episode is all about Yomi finding out that she can actually throw a pitch she really wants to throw, knowing that Tama will catch it, finding out that, yeah, she does like baseball, and she can play again. That's all there is to it, really. So how does it stack up against other baseball anime recent years? Well, actually, I like this one a lot better than Cinderella 9. It's got a lot of interesting promise, the characters seem much more likeable, and it seems less trying to be Princess 9 and trying to be its own thing. If anything, I actually feel it is a lot more in common, not with baseball anime, but with how we kind of receive. As you've got two girls, both kind of drifted away from the sport, but both enthusiastic about getting into the sport again, coming together, forming a team, pitcher and catcher, and making the sport work around them. It looks like it may have similar Yuri-like themes, but it doesn't seem full-on Yuri bait. Maybe Yuri light rather than Yuri bait, but I'm okay for a bit of Yuri bait or a bit of Yuri light, especially if there's a decent sports anime behind it as well. Spoiler alert, I do kind of like a good sports anime. If you are interested in watching Tamiyomi, it's airing over at Funimation. One of the most publicised new anime of this season is Crunchyroll's The Tower of God. And normally if a show is hyped up this much, there's some reason behind it, and for Tower of God it's kind of blatantly obvious what the reason that this is. As the episode starts with a flash of Crunchyroll Original. Yeah, Crunchyroll paid for this thing to be made, didn't they? Whenever you get an anime where a Western publisher is the one who financed the thing, it can go one of two ways. Sometimes you get something which is really, really good and focused on the Western market as well as Japan. And then other times you get the Tower of God. Because this is an example of when Western finance in anime doesn't work. Because the Tower of God feels like it's trying to be everything that Western fans have liked in recent years. You got a tragic story of a girl gone missing and a boy trying to chase her down. Dark and gloomy world. And he's in another world as well, wouldn't you know it? So it's kind of like an isekai. And by the end of the episode 1, he's playing a battle royale. 200 go in, 100 survive, and go forward to the next level. He's got a sword which can unlock to his own powers only. Got a feisty princess trying to help him, but she doesn't really want to help him. She's very tsundere. And he got a sultry, sexy sword woman in the sword character. It's tried to be a hell of a lot of things, and it comes across as being confused, very dated, and a mess. I think if this anime had aired 10 years ago, it would have got some traction if it was actually able to be watched. These days, I think we've got a lot more to choose between, and no matter how much Crunchyroll push it, it's not really for me, and it's probably not much for much people either. Which is a shame, because I think Crunchyroll put a lot into this one. I mean, I know I put a lot into this one. Whenever you get a Western animation, and the opening credits is less about the anime and more about who's made it, you know I've put the money into the names, not the actual product itself. Seriously, the opening credits looks more like an end credit saying this was made by this big name and this big name and these big people, and yeah. It's pushing it way too far. I'm not going to continue Tower of God. The characters are both quite attractive. The voice actors are very good, but I fear the voice actors, despite them being very good, are going to be very wasted here. If you did want to watch Tower of God, unsurprisingly it's airing over at Crunchyroll. The Eighth Son, Are You Kidding Me? Is about a guy who comes home from work one day, very knackered, very tired, makes himself some dinner, and just falls asleep. This poor guy, Shingo. When he wakes up, he's suddenly not himself anymore. This is an isekai not by a truck, but just by falling asleep. Did he die in sleep? Who knows. But he wakes up not as Shingo, but as a little kid, Wendelin von Benno Baumeister. And he appears to be a very rich kid in a rich family, because in this fantastic setting, this fantasy setting of a banquet meal of a wedding, he's being introduced to noble families, and he's clearly something important. All that comes crashing down when he wakes up the next morning and finds people taking down the curtains, taking down the decorations, and the house he's in, while still large, is full of holes, full of disrepair. It's told that, yeah, he is a noble, but he's a fallen noble. He's got no money to his name, just property and land. And the whole party thing was keeping on appearances. They don't want other people to know they're poor. So here's just a poor boy from a poor family. And if you're getting vibes of other isekai series, then that's not surprising. This has got a lot in common with a lot of them. He actually jokes himself by saying that he's clearly going to be a guy with no magic in this world. He's going to trigger the no magic trope. But apparently not. It's super powerful. So he's going for the slime or wise man's grandchild route of isekai series. The main premise of the show is that he's the last child in a very big family. He's just a kid, whereas his brothers are going off, getting themselves jobs, getting rid of their noble lineage, and he's going to be the last one and he's going to be left with nothing. But suddenly he comes into this huge magic power, he's going to learn how to use it, he's going to save his family. That's the plot of this anime. I don't need to watch it anymore to know what it's going to be like. And in the intro, we're actually introduced to a few other girls he's going to meet and is going to join his harem. They're very attractive girls. But we don't know about that yet, because this is very much... It reminds me a lot of Wise Man's Grandchild, more so than anything else. Or of Knights and Magic. Because you've got a young kid who's going to be super powerful, is going to change the world. There's not really much more to tell you about this one, actually. It's not terrible. I mean, it's got some promise there. But we've probably seen it before. There's nothing truly woeful. There's nothing truly going against it. But there's not much going for it yet either. It's definitely very much middle of the road. Not playing its cards yet. And we'll sure find out in the coming days whether it's good or whether it will go into the isekai trash heap. If you did want to watch The Eighth Son, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. When I start reading the premises of new anime, there are some shows which jump out at me as being dangerous. None more so this season than Kikuchi Goto, an anime about an emo manga artist and his daughter. We had one of those a few months ago, didn't we? Ao-chan Can't Study. But this one is very much a full-form anime about a father, in this case the titular Kikuchi Goto, and his daughter, Himegoto, and how much he loves his daughter, and interestingly enough, how much he does not want his daughter to know, but he's an ero manga artist. Much hilarity ensues. This all comes about because he is a very well known, very popular artist of truly perverse manga. You mention his name, people know who he is. But his daughter is his world. He wants her to remain purely innocent. He doesn't want her to hate him for being a perverted old man and become disillusioned with the world. And so he puts on airs that he's a salaryman. Whenever they go off to school, they both leave the house at the same time, him wearing a full business suit, her wearing a school bag going to school. They go separate ways. He goes to a tailor's, changes out of his suit, changes into his casual clothes, goes to an office, I say office, apartment, and draws manga. Why he can't do it in a suit is he can't do manga in suits. Apparently before he got his assistants, he used to draw manga in the nude, but at least he's now wearing clothes. Of course, the reason why he has to go elsewhere because he doesn't want his daughter knowing that he draws manga for a living, because she's going to start looking into what's going on, what sort of manga he draws, and oh my god, that's dangerous. Meanwhile, we're introduced to his assistants, and an odd bunch they are too. The two which really stand out are two female assistants. You've got the rather airheaded Kumi, and very much an artist geek look, Ami. Ami's intriguing me most since she reminds me a lot of Chika Oguri from Genshiken, and given how much I enjoyed that character, having more Chika is always welcome. Meanwhile, on Hime's side, we see her going off to school. Now, of course, a school teacher has to know what Kikuchi does for a living, because she's teaching him. As a teacher, she needs to know how to get in contact with him in case there's an emergency. But she refuses to tell Hime what's going on because the teacher Ichiko is a huge fan of his work. That's something you'll find in a lot of times. People talking about his work and being fans of his work, and causing all manner of headaches for Kikuchi, who just wants to hide the fact that he's drawing perverse manga from his beautiful daughter. Now this could come across as being something sleazy or something greasy, and to my surprise it really does not. It comes across as a bit heartwarming, very fluffy, and there's not much there in terms of story and character development, but you can tell there's heart there. Hime's friends are hilarious. Their adventures into the depths of the non-manga bookstore and the mysterious language people speak there. The ginormous portraits of devils in green black backgrounds. Yeah, it's a coffee shop. We're in Starbucks. But it's played off of a child's innocence, and I want us to watch more of it. I want to watch more of Hime and Hime's friends going around just being kids. Because they are. Just kids. And Kikuchi and his assistants, their weird antics, I mean, they're just people going about their day-to-day job. Most of them don't realise just how much of a pain it is for Kikuchi to do what he's doing. Whereas Kikuchi just wants to keep his daughter away from the perversion, which is understandable given his line of work. And so from a show which really made me worried, I will say I've got no worries whatsoever about this one. I'm going to wholeheartedly recommend it. If you do want to watch this one is airing over at Funimation. The season has officially started then, with the first 4 shows looked at. I'm going to look at 4 more next time and let you know what I think of them. But what did you think? Let me know in the comments. And join me next time for more reviews. And join me on Twitch for live streams. But thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.